Hello everybody and welcome to everybody tuning in on Sporty Stuff TV. I am Paul the Asset Nicholson and I am going to talk you through tonight's action in Group B of Champions Week here at the Online Darts Live League. It's been a fascinating week, but let's have a little look as to how people got here tonight and how people have been doing for the course of the week. As you can see, 6 players on the left-hand side of your screen. James Richardson was the man to come through Group A over the last 3 days. Second place and third place, Colin Osborne and Shaun McDonald have made it through to Group B with Conan Whitehead, who are taking their spot in Group B, as you can see, for tonight. And they're going to be joined by Jamie Clark and Chaz Barstow. It has been a fabulous week so far with high standards over the last few days, but it's going to be 3 players who come through Group B going into Saturday night's finals, where James Richardson is waiting. As far as Group C is concerned, we had Martin Adams, Greg Ritchie, Jared Cole, Richie Burnett, Joe Davis and Scott Marsh doing battle a little bit earlier today. It really has been an entertaining week, but we're all really looking forward to Saturday night, where £5,000 is indeed on offer for the winner. And it has been an average week, so to say, when it comes to 90 averages, 100 averages, even something as high as about 110 at points. But this week really has delivered from all of these players. As far as tonight is concerned, we do have Chaz Barstow, who has at times been unplayable. We have got players from Scotland. We have had players from Wales. But as you can see from that graphic there, we've got Barstow versus Clark starting us off. We have McDonald and Osborne doing battle for the 4th day in succession after that. And everybody will have 4 matches tonight. And we will have a league table at the end of the night. But what we should do now is look at what happened a little bit earlier today, because we had Martin Adams, who picked up 4 wins out of 5 games. He was followed by the likes of Scott Marsh and Jared Cole. As you can see, 5 matches for all of these players today, but it was Wolfie, the legend from Cambridgeshire, who came out on top. He will go into tomorrow's action on Friday morning as the man to beat. So, will the others catch him? We'll find out tomorrow. But as far as Group B is concerned, let's take a short break before we go down to the board and let's start tonight's action. So let's get into it. This should be a one of the 4 qualifying weeks in the last month. And Barstow, it seems like a long time since we've seen him, because he qualified via week 1. Jamie Clark qualified via week 3. These players did not win their respective weeks, but they did get to the final. The objective was, of course, to make the top 3 in their respective weeks, and they did so comfortably. But now the objective is slightly different. It's all about trying to be one of 3 players getting out of this 5-person group. And if you can do that, then you will punch your ticket to Saturday night, where all of the money is on offer.
Okay, first leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
All games best of 7 tonight. Our usual format. 5-1 straight start with the bullseye counting as double 25. And it is an England versus Scotland match,
100,
which is something we have got very used to here at the Online Darts Live League. But headlining on Sporty Stuff TV tonight,
96.
You'd have to think out of this group, it's probably the reputations of Barstow and of the wizard Colin Osborne.
91.
The one man in this group who has won multiple PDC titles in the past.
58.
We'll talk a little bit more about Colin when he comes around in match 2. But as far as Jamie Clark is concerned,
40.
He travelled down to the Online Darts Live League with his friend Greg Ritchie, who had a somewhat disappointing day today in Group C. He'll be looking to do
82.
slightly better in Group B. But the advantage of being part of Group B, of course, is that 3 players come through this group,
96.
whereas C is only 2. So you might think he might not have to play it as well, but the players won't be thinking that way.
140.
15 darts thrown, and Barstow is down to 76, with his opponent now on a finish.
84. Chazia requires 76.
He's looking for a comfortable hold at the start here. Double 10.
Game shown
And that
the
is
first
a
leg.
comfortable hold in the end.
Barstow.
As far as 76 checkouts are concerned, you don't finish many of them on double 10. But he won't care about that because he has that early hold and he's 1-0 up.
Second leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on. $57.
Chaz Barstow had a very different phase 2 because we did have 8 weeks of action
100.
before we started this format. Barstow was very, very strong, winning 2 weekly titles in phase 1. But phase 2,
140.
over the last 4 weeks where Barstow has played, and of course he did play in week 1 like I mentioned at the top of the show,
58.
he actually lost more games than he won, which is a new sensation for Chaz, but he still did enough to get himself here. What we have found from Chaz is that when he needs to play well, he does. A running average in phase 2 of 86.27, a high of 98.56. We know for a fact that he can average
53.
much better than that. So is he saving his best for this week? If I were Jamie Clark and the rest of the people in this group, I would watch
92.
out because Barstow's been
Jamie
playing a
require
lot of darts this year.
170.
Another. Would have left the bullseye.
Yes, 80 scored.
And it is the bullseye that Chaz will eye up.
100. Chazia require 132.
Another. What a lie. Double 16.
116.
One of the champagne shots on the dartboard.
Jamie requires
And he got the hard
70.
bit right. And the open double 16 was only just missed. Now it's Jamie's turn at the bull.
39.
And after that miss, you would fancy that Barstow will get his
16.
first break of throw of the evening.
Game
And that
on
is
the
what he
second
finds.
leg. Chaz Barstow.
It's not his A-level game, but right now he's showing glimpses of what he can do. There is another gear. Will he find it in leg 3?
Third leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
As far as Jamie is concerned, 27 matches played in phase 2, 18
31.
wins and 9 defeats for a win percentage of 67%. Now, aside from Chaz, who has a win percentage of under 42%,
60.
everybody else is neatly knitted together between 63 and 68% as far as winning is concerned.
42.
So this could be a very, very tight group. Who's going to take charge of it the way that Martin Adams took charge
100.
of Group C earlier on today? And indeed, James Richardson, who managed to win in Group A
99.
over one of our competitors tonight, Shaun McDonald. He shared the same spot of 20 points with Colin Osborne and Shaun McDonald,
140.
but he beat McDonald in Group A, not on points, not on leg difference, because that was the same as well. He beat him because he defeated Shaun 2 times
29.
out of their 3 meetings this week. It's the finest margin he could have qualified by.
105.
Good response here from Jamie Clark. Getting under 100 after 12.
100.
And he has 6 darts from here.
Jamie requiring 96.
Double 8.
88.
He will return 4-4-4. And we'll hope to get rid of it soon. Doesn't want to have one of those legs where you constantly miss and give
95.
your opponent an unexpected
Jamie
bonus
require
opportunity.
8.
But this is for a break back.
Game shot on the third
Beautifully
leg.
done. And Jamie
Jamie
Clark
Clark.
registers a 16-darter for his first leg win of the evening. That is a break back, like I said. So now, with it back on throw, he has to be aggressive to try and equalise the score.
Fourth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on. .96.
I mentioned at the top of the show some of the performances that we've seen from people this week. Best average of around 110 from James Richardson.
180.
I get the feeling that if someone like Barstow hits what he can hit, he'll get very close, if not better
81.
than that. He was playing PDC Pro Tour darts last week as an alternate. And he's been
99.
getting opportunities to do that all season long, because he only missed out on a tour card by 1 spot in the league table.
81.
He put in some good performances last week in Milton Keynes, so he's not far removed from very
58.
prestigious action. That's why I think he'll be very dangerous this evening against everyone. As far as Jamie's concerned, I don't know what he's been up to the last couple of weeks, but
44.
he was very useful in week 3.
Require 164.
That was only a couple of weeks ago. So Barstow is now looking at the bullseye. Just one of them.
139.
Well, he got 2 earlier, but he couldn't bank the 164 there, which would have given us our second biggest checkout of the week.
140.
We've had a 167
Casual
from
record
Richie Burnett a little
25.
bit earlier today. Double 10.
5.
And that could be costly.
Jamie requiring 59.
Jamie Clark did very, very well to leave this 59. And it is to equalise. He's fortunate to have these 2 darts at tops.
Game
And
shot on
he's
the fourth
taken
leg.
full advantage
Jamie
of
Clark.
that. When you get opportunities against Chaz Barstow, you have to take them, because usually when he has chances, he doesn't give you a second one.
Fifth leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
He is someone who likes to
140.
dance around the oche, you could say. He'll go left, he'll go right. He'll
96.
only switch to 19s and 18s if he needs to.
.99.
It's conceivable that Barstow should be very, very close to the finishing line in this match.
81.
But there doesn't seem to be any signs of ring rust here from these 2 players. This is their first match of the week, whereas the other 3 competitors
44.
in this group have been playing for the last 3 days straight. Tidy averages of around 86 for both players. At times tonight, they will have to find something
60.
a wee bit higher than that. The first game of the day, whether it's at 9:30 in the morning or 10 p.m. at night, it's just about registering that first
134.
win. And Barstow was very close to it.
.140.
Only 8
Pressure required
games in this
84.
group for each player. So you have to take advantage of every opportunity to get the 2 points that you register for a win. Bullseye for Barstow.
48.
And is that going to be a fortunate miss? Because he's left double 18,
124.
but it is a match start missed. It's the bullseye. It's not the bullseye.
77.
Here's me thinking Barstow's 3-2 up. That's my mistake. This is to go 3-2 up. And he is 3-2 up. Wonderfully done.
Barstow.
I'm getting ahead of myself. It's quite incredible. It's Thursday night on Sporty Stuff TV, and I think Barstow's got one more leg than he deserves. Well, he has got 3-2, and he still needs one more.
Sixth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
I bet he hopes he was 3-2, looking for that bullseye then, the double 18.
$96.
He has been the better player in this match, but he's not registering the better average, which is something that has happened quite a lot this week so far. We've had some mystifying performances from people. A little earlier today,
97.
Jamie Clark's friend Greg Ritchie registered his only victory with an 88 average in defeating Scott Marsh, who averaged 8 more than him.
60.
That happens now and again. Barstow was trying to leave himself on 170 there by going 18s first. It hasn't worked out.
$100.
But all is not lost in his quest to win by 4 legs to 2. In this slightly
99.
truncated group of 8 games per player, 4 per evening, because they will be back tomorrow night as well on Sporty Stuff TV. Leg difference is going to play its part.
84.
It already has this week in its own strange little way. But another one of those would have given him a double 18 for the match. This time,
74 left.
but he has left himself on double 16.
Jamie require 130.
So Jamie Clark is trying to save the match here.
70.
Barstow in that dreamy position of 3-match darts. Oh, another. He's finally got it done.
Barstow.
He didn't mean to get the double 8, of course, but as long as you get the other one, it doesn't really matter. He has registered a 4-2 victory in his first match of the night. You can see the averages are extremely similar, and the checkered percentages are really similar, but the chances that came Barstow's way, he took them all. Did a really, really good job of getting his first 2 points for the night. When we return, it will be Shaun McDonald and Colin Osborne for the 4th time this week. That's coming up after the break. Darts Live League action. We are about to go into our second match of the night after Chaz Barstow registered his first 2 points against Jamie Clark in match 1. Shaun McDonald and Colin Osborne will follow now.
Okay, first leg, it's Shaun to throw.
Straight into it then.
Game on.
And Shaun McDonald has come to terms with the fact that he is playing this evening because he was within touching distance of the finals over the last 3 days. He was the person who was at the top of the table
140
in Group A for the first 3 days of the week for most of the time. But as it turned out, first, second and third place,
100,
which belonged to the Wizard, all shared 20 points each, and they had to be separated by leg difference. Osborne was in third spot, hence why he is playing tonight.
58.
And Shaun McDonald, who had the same leg difference as James Richardson, is playing tonight because his head-to-head record with James over the first 3 days of the week was 2-1 to James. If he'd have beaten James Richardson instead of losing to him on Wednesday and still shared the same amount of points, he would be kicking back tonight, watching the coverage, instead of having to go through Group B to try and punch his ticket to the finals. He has to start all over again.
$140.
Colin Osborne nailed third spot in the table pretty much after Tuesday. Shaun, Colin and James created this huge 6-point gap between themselves and the bottom 3 by the end of Tuesday's action. The only other person to graduate from Group A, Conan Whitehead. He comes next against Chaz in match 3. He had to fight for his place in playing tonight, and he did very well to do so. But it is McDonald who was first to get a chance at double for a leg. It's for a very good leg as well.
17.
Not quite. Very, very close.
Colin, you require 62.
So in comes Osborne for treble 18. And double 4 for a 5-visit break to start his evening very vibrantly. Very, very good indeed.
Colin Osborne.
Osborne somewhat stamps on the heart of Shaun McDonald in the first leg, takes the impetus, and not throwing first in this match obviously agrees with Colin as he takes a 1-0 lead.
Second leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
I know that's a somewhat callous way of putting it,
100.
stamping on his heart, but there is no sympathy in the game of darts. It's a dog-eat-dog world. There's not a great deal of pairs action going on in World Darts at the moment. The majority of it is singles
43.
action. We don't have caddies or corner men here. Once you're on that hockey, you're on your own.
140.
But as far as playing Colin Osborne this week is concerned, I said this is their 4th meeting. Well, McDonald has had the measure of Colin Osborne this week, winning 2 of their matches.
100.
He lost on Monday to Colin by 4 legs to 3. But over the last couple of days, he's won 4-1 and 4-0.
140.
As Osborne looked at this match after his 3 games with Shaun this week and said, I'm going to settle my score with Shaun after Thursday. And their match on Friday will be the decider for the week. Potentially.
96.
Because there is, of course, the possibility that both of these players could book their place in the finals on Saturday night. and then have a 6th game of the week. No bullseye shot for Colin, but
97.
the likelihood is even if he'd got that treble 17, he wouldn't have gone for the bullseye. He would have laid up for double top. Treble 18 required to leave a finish.
92.
He does get that,
Colin, you're required.
but
24.
it should be too late. Osborne playing at a very high level here. Double 6 now. Double 3.
Game shown the second
Very
leg.
well polished off.
Colin Osborne.
And if you think great dart players like Colin Osborne, who has got 7 PDC titles to his name, doesn't enjoy the gritty side of the game like that, then you're wrong, because look at that face from him.
Throw first. Game on.
It's not just about big 170 outs and 9 darters. It's about taking double 3s like that and not giving your opponent a shot. Even with
58.
over 15 years of professional experience, Colin Osborne still gets a kick out of getting legs like that. Colin was the weekly winner in week 2 in qualifying for
83.
Champions Week. He won a weekly group finals, which consisted of Joe Davis, who was part of Group A and Group C this week, Jared Cole, who was playing in Group B,
81.
Rob Collins, Scott Baker and Stephen Burton. Shaun McDonald won Group 4, which saw him beat James Richardson in Saturday night's final, just gone.
38.
Shaun played 6 days last week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. He had Sunday off before he came back for Monday
58.
in Champions Week. So this is his 10th day of action in 11 days.
140.
Anybody who has thrown a lot of darts in their life will be starting to think, Shaun, how are you doing this? But there may be other people saying, it's only a game of darts. You're only playing 4 matches a day, or sometimes 5 a day.
57.
Trust me. I'm a professional darts player myself. When you're playing that much, day in, day out, it will take its toll.
45.
I would not be surprised if Shaun was a little bit lethargic tonight. But he has shown that true Scottish grit and determination over the course of the last couple of days in grinding out wins that maybe he didn't deserve. Over the course of the next 2 nights, he is going to be tested in that respect, probably more than anything else.
$112.
Nice lead from Shaun. Very, very intelligent use of the bullseye. But he's already in trouble.
85.
Osborne gets to 110.
Shaun, you require 100.
And McDonald will revisit the centre of the board. 2 bullseyes in a row. Leaves him 85 for double top.
150.
That would have been an extraordinary 6 darts to finish that leg.
110.
Treble 18 now. Just misses. He thought that was in the same part of the bed that he hit on the 62 checkout in leg 1.
Shaun, you require 20.
Double 10 is a must.
Game shown the
That
third leg.
is a brilliant
Shaun
shot
McDonald.
at double 10, and he stays in this match with that key win in leg 3. He cannot, from this position, afford Osborne to get to 3-1. He's got to win this leg for me.
Fourth leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on. $81.
For all of our viewers on Sporty Stuff TV this evening, we welcome you along thanks for joining us. And if you are joining us for the very first time, and you don't know a great deal about Colin Osborne,
140.
Originally from Middlesbrough, spent most of his adult life in the Derbyshire area of England.
85.
Former Championship League champion within the PDC, where he defeated Phil Taylor in the final. The greatest player ever to have thrown a dart. Former UK Open finalist, of course,
58.
and those 7 PDC titles, which I mentioned a little bit earlier. Amongst other great runs, like the 2010 Players' Championship finals, where he made the semi-finals, lost to Mervyn
40.
King. One of the best talents around the 2010 mark, and was feared by many. But over the course of the last few
59.
years, he has gone through a rebuilding process. He lost his game for a while, but has rediscovered form thanks to hard work, belief, and the support
100.
of his darts manufacturer, who have stuck by him and given him everything he needs. Make no mistake, Colin Osborne is on the way back, and it is fantastic to see. Shaun McDonald is a bit of a young prodigy.
134.
He won the World Boys Masters something like 20 years ago. Then he went away from the game, had a family, started a career as an accountant.
57.
And over the last couple of
So you
years,
require
has started
110.
his way back in the game and has turned heads this year. Single 18 for double 16 and a level game. That is what we have. Thumb plus out from Shaun McDonald, and I said he had to win that leg. He's won it quite convincingly, and we now have a very different game because it was 2-0 to Osborne. Now at level, could be anybody's this one.
Fifth leg, it's Shaun to throw first. Game on.
Speaking to Shaun a little bit earlier on, he was saying that he's eyed up the Online Darts Live League as a bit of a free hit for him.
97.
Nobody expected him to do anything when he came here, but he has maybe done more than he expected. He is eyeing up
58. Challenge
Tour action within the PDC in the next couple of months. And he has spoken about how this has got him in the mindset for that brilliantly. Same goes for Colin Osborne and a lot of the other competitors who have taken their spot at our live league hockey.
$180.
Quite unbelievably, that is the first maximum in this match. Took us 4.5 legs to get it.
$135.
I sense it might not be the last. That is actually Colin's 26th 180 of the week.
99.
He was the second
Shaun,
biggest
you require
180 hitter of the
150.
week in the first 3 days. The biggest being James Richardson, our first qualifier for the Champions League finals on Saturday night. But that is 2 treble 19s for double 18. Oh, that's exceptional from Shaun McDonald. He takes out 110, which you think, yeah, that's a nice shot. But 150 on double 18 is just a bit extra special. And it is 3-2 now.
Sixth leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
I think that facial expression from Colin Osborne when Shaun took the first 2 trebles out was if to say,
59.
wow, you're pretty good, aren't you? Well, yes, Colin, he is pretty good. And he has won the last 3 legs in a row from 2-0 down. He was being bossed
85.
by the Wizard. As it stands now, Colin is forced, if he wants his first 2 points of the night right here, to do what he did at the beginning of the game and getting a brace of legs. Throughout the week, Shaun McDonald has played 15 matches.
93.
He's won 10 of them. He's averaged just a shade over 90 for the week. On the checkouts, he has been very, very good. Over 41% for the week. And this performance does reflect that consistency. He's averaging 94 right now, and his doubles are around about 42%.
84.
Same goes for Colin Osborne, really. He's at 41% for doubles for the week, and just a shade over 90 as well. In fact, there's only 1/100th of a point between them in their weekly average.
100.
McDonald is thinking, get to 100 here. 139 is a good score. He's not going to get 139. He just needs to get to a finish.
100.
That he manages to do.
Colin, you require 102.
That's all right. 97 left.
42.
But if Shaun McDonald takes out this 139,
Colin, you require
that will be 3
139.
consecutive ton-plus finishes, and he will mirror what he did against Martin Adams earlier in the week in taking 3 ton-plus checkouts in a match. It's not going to be this time. And Osborne, who loves tops, is going to need one.
99.
After the single 20, of course.
Colin, you require 60.
Double top it is. Huge dart.
40.
That could be the end of the game. To improve his record against Colin this week
40.
to 3 matches to 1. He now needs double top, and he's taking his time. He knows how much these points mean in a shorter group in Group B. It's there,
Shot on the man.
and that is a 17 darter, and Shaun
Shaun
McDonald wins by 4 legs to 2. A very, very tidy performance. A 93.2 average, better than his opponent. His doubles were better than his opponent, but the finish, the 150, was magical, and it did change the game. So he equals Barstow's mark at the top of the table on 2 points. We're going to get our first look at Conan Whitehead. He comes up in Game 3. That's coming up after the break. back, everyone. We are live on Sporty Stuff TV, and we're now about to get our second look at Chaz Barstow for the evening, as he is now attempting to get to 4 points. But in his way, Conan Whitehead, our final player making his first appearance of the night. Here is the man from Rainham in Kent, who fought valiantly in Group A earlier this week to get 4th position in that table. If he had got 5th or 6th, he would have played in the 6-person group earlier on today, and it would have been more difficult for him to get through that group than prospectively getting through this one. But with 8 games at his disposal now, Conan has got to get a good start
38
against an opponent that has already registered points tonight. Is that going to be an advantage for Barstow, having already played on the Ocky this evening? There is an early blow in this best of 7 match.
100.
As far as the week is concerned, Whitehead averaged around 88 for the week. 40% on doubles, which again is very, very good. 7 ton plus checkouts and 14 maximums. You may ask why someone
85
of Conan's experience and skill level didn't contend at the top of the Group A table. Well, it's pretty simple, really.
85.
He would have been very, very close to the 20-point mark of Osborne, of McDonald and Richardson in Group A.
92.
Had he been better at closing matches out. He left a lot of points out there. It was the golfing equivalent of driving well, approaching well, but he wasn't hauling putts. He's in early trouble here
96
against Hampshire's Chaz
32.
Barstow, who's on double 16. Double 8. And as far as angles go here, needs a bit of trigonometry.
24.
Indeed, needed a bit of magic to find that double 8, and he wasn't up to the challenge. Double 15.
Game
And that is a beautiful confidence builder there for Conan Whitehead. Now, when it comes to starting your campaign, sometimes you need to get a bit fortunate. He's been fortunate, but he gave himself the chance, and he took it for leg 1.
Second leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
The fortune was that Barstow missed 3 darts a double to take a break of throw in leg 1.
140.
But when given the option of that 90 checkout, it was the right route. And the execution will make him feel good.
$100.
That is a violent collision
25.
from a dart player that throws the darts as hard as anyone. Nothing is left behind every time he throws those gunmetal style barrels.
26.
He throws a dart that is pretty much cloaked by the black segment of the 20. It's got a somewhat stealth quality. The only thing he will see in the board is the white section of his flights. And for all of our Sporty Stuff TV viewers this evening, tuning in for the very first time, if you're wondering why Colin Whitehead is in black and white, it's got nothing to do with Notts County. It's got nothing to do with Exeter
100.
or Newcastle United. Black and white is his favourite colour combination because that's what he was wearing when he got married. Hence the shirt and, of course, the black and white flights.
35.
I'm sure his wife Shirley is watching on nervously at home on the edge of the couch, hoping that Conan is going to have a very strong evening.
59.
It started okay.
Charge require 143.
How will things progress? That leaves 82. So the bullseye is the right shot here.
86.
Not only because
you
the
require
bullseye left
138.
32, but the 25 leaves the easier 2 darter. If he gets a look at the 57, of course.
98.
And after that attempt at 2
Charge
treble 20s for
require
double 9,
57.
Barstow does get the look at tops.
Game shot on the
That
second
is a lot
leg.
cleaner.
Chaz Barstow.
He finds the right amount of shots. He gets 1 shot at tops, and he is now 1-all in this very good game so far between himself and Conan Whitehead.
Third leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
Had a couple of nice tweets already tonight from not just one of our regular
100.
viewers, a very nice guy by the name of Fraser Gunn up in northern Scotland. I'm sure he's probably cheering on Shaun McDonald, someone from his neck of the woods.
125.
But indeed a tweet from Niall Cullerton, who was scheduled to be part of Champions Week because he came through in week 3 of qualifying.
100.
But due to personal circumstances, he wasn't able to play. So, Niall, you are missed.
60.
I'm sure there will be more opportunities for you in the future. So, all the best to you. And his substitute this week, Greg Ritchie, didn't have a great day, but will still have
60.
tomorrow to do some more damage.
$93.
Good double switch there from Chaz Barstow. Gets him back in the leg. If there has been something that has
59.
caused problems for Whitehead, and I'm not just talking about the inability to close off matches that he should have had.
100.
If there was one dart that really has plagued him this week, it's the first one that has been short of the 60. Just underneath that one. This has been better. That leaves 107. Oh.
75.
I don't know what happened there,
Chaz, you require 123.
but whatever it was, it's cost him points. Bullseye for Barstow on the 1-2-3 out.
Game
Oh,
shot on the third leg.
typically Chaz.
Chaz Barstow.
And that bounce out that Conan Whitehead had, it didn't make any difference whatsoever. So the good thing for Conan is that he shouldn't really be too despondent, but he can be disappointed about the
Full
fact that
flag,
he's behind
it's
in the
Chaz
match.
to throw first. Game on.
That break of throw gives Chaz Barstow the impetus in this one. And if he can hold here from a 3-1 position, he will be a very big favourite. If indeed you are choosing to have a gamble or a flutter on anything this evening,
180.
you could well be looking at the 180s market. And right now, it's 1-all in this match. Well, for now. It's now 2-1 to Barstow
180.
in the 180s. Remember, it's for people of 18 years of age and over only.
85.
Please gamble responsibly. And begambleaware.org for more information on that. But what defiance from Barstow.
57.
As soon as that 180 comes in from Whitehead, he backs it up with one of his own. That is a great visit. As much as he wanted the 140 to leave 96, he thought the 60 was covered
140.
and switched over to
How do
the
you
18s
require
to leave this
102?
shot, which is now very, very important with Barstow on 64. The bullseye's in for double 16.
70.
And that one did not come out right. It was a good inch short.
Chaz, you require 64.
Double top. Double 10 for a 3-1 lead.
Game shot on the
That is
fourth
what
leg.
he gets. And
Chaz
when
Barstow.
things start to come on the line for Barstow, You see the pressure that is in his eyes, and he thrives off it. He's looking at 4 points now after 2 games.
Fifth leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
A man who has
60.
cashed well on the PDC Pro Tour this year, as someone without a tour card. He's the ultimate alternate this year, as I like to call him, because he can play wherever he likes. He can play here, he can play WDF tournaments, he can play modern amateur darts tournaments,
60.
he can play PDC events. He's got license to roam the world and play wherever he likes. And that is his third 180 of this match. He's very, very close to a second win in Group B.
128.
The average is better than his first match as well.
58.
That is telling. The most important thing, of course, that he's 3-1 up, but his performance level has been raised. That's a warning sign to his final 2 opponents,
60.
Colin Osborne and Shaun McDonald.
129.
72 left for the match.
'93.
Well, he's left himself on 36. I think a lot of people were looking at the 12 there to leave tops. Well, he's left it.
100.
And it is for the win.
Chaz, you require
A
36.
big win as well. That's what he
Game,
gets.
shot, and the match.
He doesn't
Chaz
seem to
Barstow.
get fazed by anything when he's in this sort of form. That is a very, very competent performance from Chaz Barstow. You can see his average is a good 9 ahead of Conan's. He was better in every facet of the game. When he got more chances, he took 50% of them. A very, very good performance from him, now on 4 points. It's going to be a Scottish derby when we return, because Shaun McDonald will return to the hockey, and he's taking on Jamie Clark right after this. Welcome back, and it's an all-Scotland affair about to take place here at the Online Darts Live League, live on Sporty Stuff TV. We have Jamie Clark against Shaun McDonald, and these two have had differing fortunes so far this evening in their first matches in Group B. Shaun with a very hard-fought 4-2 victory against Colin Osborne, which included the highest checkout of the night so far of 150. Shaun McDonald has been playing an awful lot of darts the last couple of weeks. A little bit more than, say, Jamie Clark has done since we last saw him here a couple of weeks ago. It wasn't to be for Jamie in match 1, where he lost out to Barstow by 4-2. He's going to need a quick rebound.
180.
And he gets the first maximum of the match. So a good sign for Jamie. We've had plenty of all Scottish clashes
99
throughout the Online Darts Live League in 2021. The likes of Greg Ritchie, Darren Beveridge, who has been tuning in the last few days.
79.
We've had Nathan Girvan here as well, from the Arbroath area of Scotland, which isn't too far away from where Shaun is from. He's from Aberdeenshire. And Jamie is from a little bit further south of that one, more towards the Fife area, which is famous for having the legend that is Jockey Wilson.
60.
But the future of Scottish darts is in very good hands. There are some future stars ready to take the mantle of the likes of Peter Wright and Gary Anderson and Robert Thornton. But as far as this group is concerned, if McDonald finds the win in this match, Clark is in trouble. He can only leave 90 from 140. So that is an invitation for Shaun McDonald to possibly pinch this leg. 95 left. And that leaves double 19. That was almost his second 150 plus checkout of the night.
Jamie require 90.
Another single 20 for the bullseye.
65.
And McDonald has been given 6 darts from 155.
Shaun, you require 38.
Not taking care of 140 in 6 darts at this level is a mistake. Double 14. And McDonald has found the top corner.
The first leg, Shaun McDonald.
He didn't want to move unless he was given the nod by our referee Owen Binks. He double-checked it. We don't have VAR in darts, but we do have DAR. He's called Owen Binks, and he's our referee.
Leg, Shaun to throw first. Game on.
Yes, in a group where you only play 8 matches,
58.
If you lose your first 2, you are in immediate bother. 5 players in the group. 3 progress
60
to Saturday night's finals. You don't have to be at your perfect best, but you have to, in my opinion, pick up wins in half your matches. That might get you 3rd spot. Lose your first 2 and you're under pressure to win the next 2. The last thing you want to do going into Friday night, the second night of this group, is have 0 or 2 points. Shaun has proved this week that the best position, potentially, is to be towards the top the whole time. Yes, he got pipped to the post in Group A,
96.
but he was always in contention. He was remarkably consistent every single day.
$134.
Even with that 134, Shaun McDonald could still put Jamie in bother here. Both averaging 90 for the game so far, even at this early stage. But here is the bother.
140. Jamie
This is the biggest finish of the week. It came from Richie Burnett earlier in the day. He doesn't have any company in that department as of yet.
Shaun, you require 82.
This is where a nice 25-17 in tops will make you feel very good. But this is an exceptional visit so far. 88 for 2-0.
66.
And even with that bullseye at the start of the visit, he's not able to take one of 2 shots at double. It's up to Jamie to stop him getting another chance. Jamie Clark, what was that?
76.
Why on earth
Shaun,
would you go bullseye
16.
in that spot? I am flabbergasted. Double 4.
12.
He knows that that was a big chance for 2-0.
Jamie, you require
Shaun
34.
McDonald is a very, very clever bloke. And even he would have been flummoxed by Jamie Clark going 60 bull for 110 in this important match. Double 16.
game Shaun,
It's
the
in.
second leg.
And somehow
Jamie Clark.
he gets to 1 leg all. I'm still smarting from him going 60 bull. I have no logic to that whatsoever. But somehow, by hook or by crook, he has found his way to 1-1.
Third leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
If indeed him going for the bullseye with those 2 darts at 50,
57.
if it made Shaun think about why, then it's what we call in this sport a bit of a dead cat shot. Just trying to influence the thinking of your opponent by doing something a little silly.
134.
I remember the first time I ever saw something like that. I was chalking a game
60.
at the Mountain Dart League in Dandenong, Australia, when a good friend of mine, Tony Birtwhistle, had left 101 after 12 darts in a leg of 501. He hit the treble 17 and left 50, and he had 2 darts in hand. I'm looking up at this single 18.
100.
And then I realised that he'd hit the bullseye with the second dart for a 14 darter. And I thought to myself, what have I just seen?
55.
Well, there was a debate about it afterwards, but I think on Thursday night in Champions Week, when you don't have a win to your name yet, that was a mistake by Jamie. Anyway, let's move on from that, because Shaun
97.
doesn't have the darts in this match anymore, but is making an assault on Jamie's throw again in leg 3.
59. Shaun, you require 170.
We haven't had one all week long. And we ain't going to get one now.
96.
He will take that. To be 196 points in front in a leg is a very nice position. And he knows he has 6 darts from here, but he will still eye up getting this done in 2. He will not be rushed. He will take his time and get his rhythm right.
54.
But he didn't get that double right, and that has been the tail of his tape in match 4 of the evening.
70. Shaun, you require 20.
One hit a double out of 7 attempts so far. That has got to change. And it does change.
Third leg.
That is
Shaun
good enough
McDonald.
for a break of throw, but at times he has looked a little shaky on the outer ring. So if he can polish up that and keep the scoring better than Jamie Clark, which he's been doing lately, he will be good enough to get the
Shaun
points.
to throw first. Game on.
He's outscoring Jamie Clark in the averages by 14 points. So it's no shock to me that he's 2-1 up with a break of throw. But it is about
58.
what he does with the hold after the break.
$46.
For me, Jamie just looks a little ragged. When playing in week 3, he had a bit of a suspect start to the week. But as the week went on, he got better and better and better.
140.
He had his best day on the Wednesday when he won 5 games out of 5 in week 3. And then he found his way through
95.
in Group B, of which this is. And then he came second by losing the final in week 3 and was a very fair second place person in that group over the course of the
95.
whole week. But as far as tonight's concerned, he has not shown us what he can do.
60.
I wonder what kind of response he has if he loses this match, because Shaun averaging 89, which he's been doing all week long.
96.
May well be too good for Jamie Clark in this match. Judging by some of the performances we have seen from
60.
Shaun McDonald, this is an under par performance because a lot of his better performances have been around the 93 to 96 range. For 3-1, he needs double 16 for another ton plus out.
Game
Beautifully
done.
done. He has
Shaun
been the
McDonald.
king of the ton plus outs so far tonight with 150 out, 110 out. Now he's added 112 to that. This week, he's done that a lot, and he's 3-1 up now.
Fifth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
2 ton plus
57.
checkouts in his first match against Colin Osborne. Yet another right there. That makes 12 ton plus checkouts for the week. That's very, very good indeed. I do believe that that is more than
140.
any other player.
$140.
Better from Clark. But from here, he's going to have to be so much better than before.
$41.
I do believe Jamie Clark has got himself a new dart shirt for this evening as well.
100.
For the Champions Week occasion. Well, JC has been a good sign for 2021. That set of initials. You think about Johnny Clayton, the Masters and Premier League champion. And of course, Joe Cullen,
96.
who has won a couple of ranked events as well. So are we going to get another JC in the professional ranks in the course of the next couple of years? Well, there is his second 180 of the match, and that statistic he has owned He's got 2. Shaun's got none. But as far as 180s are this week, Shaun hasn't hit a great deal of them. In fact, he's only hit 11.
100.
When you compare that with James Richardson, who's got 30, just goes to show what James Richardson can do. That's what Jamie Clark can do. He takes double 6 for a 2-3 deficit. But if he's to get out of this one with a win, he may have to provide us with his best leg of the night next.
6th leg, it's Shaun to throw first. Game on.
That's because it's against Shaun McDonald's throw. And it's someone who has been very, very good at protecting his positions this week.
$96.
The match that really stands out for Shaun's week, when he played Martin Adams and he was 3-2 down, he was in Jamie's position.
96.
What did he do? He took out 2 ton plus finishes in the last 2 legs of the match, 119 and 129, and won 4 legs to 3. That's what you call digging deep.
140.
Just another sign that Shaun is digging deep with every dart he's throwing tonight.
140.
This is close. It's a very, very good leg. And both players will visit the 19 region on this 265. He's going to leave a finish by the looks of it. And that finish is 132. Great use of that 57 bed. Got to go 18s. He gets a 2 treble conversion there, but Shaun leaves the more favourable number. You'd much rather have 132 than 131 because you can use the bullseye and the surface area of that 25 as well. 57 for bull. Bullseye, it's for the match.
99.
And if he'd thrown that dart just a little harder, it would have been in. Treble 18 would have left him on double top. So Shaun now has options.
33.
Is it a single 1? He could have used the single 17 again to leave double 8, but he's chosen his second match dart at double 16 and gets rid of it in quick, smart fashion. Shaun McDonald has got 4 points. Very similar start to this evening's play, just like Chaz Barstow. They are the ones to register the points. But when we return, it will be Conan Whitehead against Colin Osborne as they do battle for the 4th time this week. You can see Shaun McDonald's average was very, very good at 93. But that 5th game of the night follows after the break. Welcome back. We are 4 matches into our 10-game schedule for this evening, and 2 players have registered 4 points with 2 wins each in Chaz Barstow and Shaun McDonald. It's up to the other players to try and join the party now. Conan Whitehead and Colin Osborne, after playing 1 match each this evening, have suffered 1 defeat each. It's time for that to change, as they have their 4th battle of the week. And if earlier battles of the week are anything to go by...
Okay, first leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
This one's going to be 4-3. Because the pattern of the week for these 2 players can be stipulated
50.
By their duels against each other. In looking at all of the games from Group A, and why these players are currently playing tonight instead of
58.
Sitting in their hotel room, for instance, like James Richardson. You can look at the head-to-head record between these 2 on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday,
85.
and it tells you a lot. But here's the thing. You might not think it does tell you a lot, because Osborne has won all 3 games 4 legs to 3. The analyst that I am, I have had a little conflab with
99.
one of my backroom staff here, and we've talked about what's gone wrong for Whitehead, what's gone right for Osborne, and vice versa. Well, those 3 results for Colin Osborne were no accident, because he's been involved in 6 last leg deciders this week, and he has won all 6.
22.
So when it goes 3-3, Osborne is the ultimate closer this week. As far as Whitehead is concerned, he has had 7 games that have gone the distance, and of those 7 games, he has only won 1 of them.
100.
And against Colin Osborne, he has lost all 3 by that 1 odd leg. As far as the first leg is concerned,
73.
It might still go his way.
Colin, you require 145.
But it does depend on this 145. Doesn't get a shot at double 14.
139.
But does, somewhat
Colin,
quizzically,
32.
leave double 3. Still a bit of room. It's not in. And this is going to have to be thrown very, very hard. I estimate he's got maybe a third of a bed to aim at.
No score.
That was as difficult a dart as you may find for someone throwing the way that Conan does.
Requires 6.
And Osborne's thinking, why did I leave double 3? Double 1.
No score.
And he busts the lot. That's the pitfall of leaving 6.
You require 32. Game shot on the first
He gets
leg.
the second chance, and Conan Whitehead does take that first leg of the contest. But maybe after the small misses at double 16, he deserved to get another shot, because he shouldn't leave double 3 on purpose,
Second
not in
leg,
my
it's
opinion.
Conan to throw first. Game on.
think what Colin was trying to do was trying to leave double three just to make
83.
Conan think, why are you leaving double three? Trying to get in his head a tiny bit.
81.
It's the only conceivable defense in the game. Because this game is all about offense. You can't stop what your opponent is doing.
95.
So the only way you can even get in their head is by doing stuff slightly strangely. A bit like Jamie Clark from the last game going 60 bull with 3 darts
99.
in hand, which still is spinning around my brain.
$134.
You might think, with their 3 previous meetings this week, that they've all followed a pattern. Well, they have,
99.
result-wise. But on one of the occasions, Conan was 3-1 up and lost 4-3. That one will have hurt him a lot because he had darts for the win.
43.
And after missing those darts for a 4-1 victory, he was troubled by them. And Osborne took full advantage.
140.
He's just taken full advantage of a lovely guide for that treble 20 there. This is possible. And I am very surprised that he did not go for a second treble 20 for double 13.
82.
Because the lie was perfect. He might lose leg 2 now. He's not going to lose it right here because that's a missed single from Osborne.
42.
Just the tiniest
Colin,
bit
you
careless
require
from Colin.
8.
And Whitehead is in a favourable part of the board for him. He likes double 18 usually.
Game's
This
on the
is its
second
neighbour,
leg.
and he is 2-0
Conan
up
Whitehead.
against someone who he is trying to find his first win of the week against. And it will be playing on his mind a little bit. If he can get over the line, all the better for him tonight.
Third leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
Neither player with any points so far. Osborne on -2 in his leg difference, -3 for Whitehead.
100.
Both of them trying to chase down Barstow and McDonald. And that is the first 180 of the match, coming from the person who's 2-0 up. Colin is in bother here.
125.
And after averaging 89.6 in his first match, which wasn't good enough against Shaun McDonald, he has gone down by a few points in this one. Hence why he's 2-0 down.
92. $81.
Even with a half-dart advantage here, Osborne and his throw are under threat in a big, big way.
125.
Just when he's thinking, I'm going to leave 49, he comes up with a big 5, and he's stuck back on 104.
52.
Whitehead's averaging 91 here. This is a tidy performance. Treble 18 still required. 68 remain.
56. Colin, you
That's
require
okay,
143.
as long as Colin doesn't hit this 143. Treble 17. The second time he's gone to the 17 bed
Colin, you require
and planted the
48.
dart in the 3 bed. This is a big dart, and that's a great guide. Not used,
Game
but
on
the double 8
third
gives him a
leg.
3-0 lead.
Conan Whitehead.
And he has a fantastic opportunity now to get his first win against Colin this week. Now, he couldn't possibly lose from 3-0 up. We have seen it from other people this week. So, come on, Conan. One more to go.
Leg, it's Conan to throw first.
Not that I'm cheering him on.
Game
I'm
on.
firmly on the fence. Don't you worry about that. 51 darts delivered for those 3 legs from Conan. Very, very competent
45.
indeed. But Colin will not believe that he's out of this match.
100.
Because earlier in the week, he was 3-0 down to Martin Adams, and he won 4-3. He has to do the same.
140.
His biggest issue is that his opponent is outplaying him in every statistic. He's currently
59.
the king of the hockey, which is something you can place a wager on before a match begins. In order to cash a king of the hockey, you need
94.
the person you back to win the match, to have the most 180s and the highest finish. Currently, Conan has all of that, bar one thing.
140.
He doesn't have the win yet. We did have another king earlier on today, a king of the castle. And that was Jared Cole, who bagged 6 points out of a possible 10 this morning. Conan is 82 points away from bagging his first 2 points of the night.
140.
Firmly in his control. One dart at tops for the win.
62.
Huge chance.
Colin, you require 62.
And now he will look at Osborne going for treble 18 on this 62. A checkout which he took in 2 darts in his first match. Double top to save this match.
Game shown.
Brilliantly done from Osborne.
Colin
He
Osborne.
will still believe that he can get through this challenge. That is a break of throw, and he will now throw first to get within 1 of Conan Whitehead.
Fifth leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
When you play the amount of darts that these guys have this week, you can sense things happening
140.
when they repeat themselves. Conan missing a match dart, and then his opponent taking out a shot like that 62.
100.
It will be playing on his mind that he has to go back to 501 and do all the hard work again. In his line of work,
100.
it's a bit like building a wall. Someone comes along with a sledgehammer and says, I'm going to smash that, you're going to have to start again.
140.
How is Osborne finding this all of a sudden?
135.
This is very, very strong from Osborne, this fight back. Conan has to be aggressive with every single dart from here to give himself another chance to win the match.
91.
He's left 170,
Colin, you
but
require 100.
he's languished a little bit behind Osborne here. Another one for double 6.
Yes.
For a 12-darter.
Game show on the fifth
Magical.
leg.
And
Colin
another
Osborne.
gesticulation from Conan as if to say, why can't I get rid of these players? Why won't they just leave me alone? Well, Colin Osborne is the ultimate fighter, and he is very much alive in this one.
Sixth leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
Even when he throws 9 darts in a leg
100.
and leaves a finish, he is left on it because of that brilliant 12-darter from Osborne. And if he can find a win from this position,
100.
there may be nothing he can't do in this group. Conan has been at that very, very good 91 or 92 average level the entire match. The last couple of legs have seen
57.
Osborne raise his average from around 84 to 94.
60.
And that's a huge visit because it doesn't have a treble involved. And it means that Osborne, with one treble in this visit, which he has, is going to get back in touch. In fact, he's going to create a lead.
125.
Oh, he hates that 5. He will hate that 5. I
100.
say that passionately because if that was me, I would have hated that 5. If he was on 220, for instance,
125.
he would have been trying to
You
set up
require
tops there. But the
141.
second throw in a row, he's hit a 5 on the anchor dart.
$65.
Is Conan going to get a shot
Colin, you
at that
require
76 for the
94.
match? He will pray that he does. Osborne gets 2 at tops for 3-3.
54.
Now Conan, you've had one match dart. It was
Colin,
very,
you
very
require
close.
76.
You can get one more. It's going to have to beat the bull, maybe. Get the 25 to give yourself a shot at the bull for the match. It's such a great guide. Oh,
51.
how did it miss? How did that miss? Just dragged it maybe
Colin, you
2
require
millimeters in
40.
the air. Double 10 for 3-3.
20.
And it's not there. If he hits that,
Colin, you
he
require
probably wins the
25.
match because of his record and last leg deciders this week. But it's double 8. And it's 2 darts in hand this time. To win 4 legs to 2. To get his first 2 points of this evening.
Game
Really,
shot
really
of the
well done.
match.
You can
Conan
see that
Whitehead.
they've had a bit of a duel this week. And at all costs, Conan Whitehead did not want to take that to leg 7. Both players played really, really well at times. Osborne put up such a fight, but it's Whitehead who gets the points in the end. He will play a little bit later on, but when we come back for match 6, it will be Chaz Barstow against Shaun McDonald, the players who are at the top of the table. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back and thank you for joining us here on Sporty Stuff TV. We have more online darts live league coming to you right now with the two best winners of the night, both getting 4 points so far, and one of them is about to get to 6 points in Game 6. You could say that these two look alike. They both have a bit of facial hair, a bit of product in the hair. They're both winners, and they're both at the top of the table. But Chaz Barstow sits alone in top spot, courtesy of a slightly better leg difference. A position that Shaun knows all too well this week.
Okay, first leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
I do like the name Chaz.
80.
He is from the beautiful town of Winchester, which is in the gorgeous county of Hampshire. 2021 has given him a lot of opportunities to see where he can take his darting talent.
40.
I mentioned in his previous game the ability for him to play wherever he chooses, because he doesn't have a tour card.
96.
And by that token, he is eligible for invites to the PDC Tour, and he can play here, and he can play wherever else he wants. It's what I like to call the Christoph Ratajski route. When Christoph Ratajski was not a tour card holder,
85.
he was qualifying for European Tour events via the Eastern European qualifier, and in one season got through 10 qualifiers
59.
out of 11. He got a lot of ranking money. And in that same year, he won the World Masters in the BDO and WDF system. And still had the ability to play Challenge Tour darts as well.
59.
So he had the freedom to play wherever he wanted.
$96.
When you have that freedom, you have to be able to use it. And the thing about this week, if he can win that £5,000 on Saturday night, that will bankroll, I think, the rest of his season for expenses, travel,
97.
some entry fees maybe,
Chaz, you require one.
some events.
70.
And next year, I firmly believe that he will be part of the PDC Tour.
105.
I think he's that good. Having said that, this is the start of Shaun McDonald 2.0. He's building up to a potential route to the Pro Tour.
Chaz, you
And
require
he has loved
65.
playing here at the Online Darts Live League.
Yes, it is an 8.
That is 57 left for the first leg in 6 visits.
25.
The opportunity has presented itself for Shaun,
Shaun, you require 80.
and he has been a master at this all week long. Just a little higher for the next single, and then progresses to tops.
Game Shaun,
And
the
he
first
has done
leg.
it once again.
Shaun McDonald.
He has been a real opportunist this week. It's that kind of game that he really, really does thrive on. He's not going to average around 110, but if he averages
Second leg, it's
95 and takes
Shaun
his
to throw
chances, he'll be
first.
very dangerous.
Game on.
It's not a classic style, I would say, that Shaun has.
134.
It's a style that is very much his own. But whereas we can coach different players and give them
57.
tips about some of the things that they do wrong or even do right, a dart throw sometimes is like a fingerprint. It's extremely unique.
96.
If you see someone for the first time and they ask you how to throw a dart. You can show them certain fundamentals,
99.
like how to stand, how to put the dart into your eye line, and how to propel the dart through the air, and of course, the basic fundamental of how to hold a dart. But if someone has been throwing in, say, Shaun's style for many years, the best thing to do from a coaching standpoint is to use his existing throw and enhance it.
100.
You don't say to someone of Shaun's talent,
Shaun, you require
just change everything.
144.
Another one of those would be very handy. Down to the treble 16.
128.
Very, very tidy leg. An improvement on leg 1. And he is starting to flex his muscle in Group B.
81.
For a 13 darter and an extremely quality ridden leg 2.
Game shot.
There it is. 14 darter it is for
Shaun
McDonald. And if he keeps playing this way, Chaz Barstow is not going to beat him. So he's going to have to find his A game from this point. Otherwise, he will find his first defeat of the evening.
Third leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on. $134.
He's going to need to stay in that region when it comes to scoring, because I don't think Shaun McDonald is going to stop.
133.
There's the proof. He gets 2 trebles himself. I asked Shaun a little bit earlier if he enjoyed
84.
having a bit of a day off today before coming in for tonight's action, and he said he's been working all day. This is the quandary of the amateur dart player. There are some people out there who are amateur dart players,
96.
but all they do is play darts for prize money. But people like Shaun, they have day jobs, they have responsibilities.
41.
People like Paul Hogan, like Dave Parletti, great dart players, but they have day jobs. They have to juggle playing world-class darts with doing 40 or 50 hours a week.
Yes.
I know myself how difficult that is, playing on the Dart Players Australia Tour back in 2007 and 2008 and 2009, and at the same time having a job in the city in Melbourne. Juggling that for an 18-month period was a nightmare. So I respect anybody who is able to do it. Should go 18s here, really.
58.
But gambled on the good lie for the 57, and it did not pay off.
43.
Treble 17. Missed. Leaves 66.
87. Shaun,
These kinds of shots
109.
have been taken by McDonald this evening. He's had a key 112 in his last match against Jamie Clark. He's had a 150 against Colin Osborne.
77.
He's not going to take the 109.
Chaz requiring 56.
If he wants leg 3, he's going to need a mistake from Chaz.
Game shot.
A mistake that this time does not come. So Chaz is in the match now, and that is the first chance at the double taken. So that will give him a little bit of confidence, but his challenge is only just beginning.
Fourth leg, it's Shaun to throw first. Game on.
So that's a hold. Now he has to break, and if he can't, he is forced to take 3 legs straight.
58.
I mentioned in the last game between Osborne and Whitehead, Conan's somewhat insecurity at not
100.
taking results at the death. The one thing that Shaun has done very well this week is grind out victories when he's not played his best stuff. Well, in this match, he's playing at a very competent level of a 93 average.
93.
And he's not going to wilt in this position. He will force Barstow to play well.
140.
Play well he is. I've had a tweet from someone called Lee Seymour tonight talking about Chaz, wondering if he was maybe taking his foot off the gas a little bit and reserving something for later in the week. Well, I assure you, he's giving everything he's got. He wants to win this Champions Week, believe me. He's someone who won 2 weekly titles in Phase 1. Shaun didn't even make the finals of the week he played. Just goes to show what Chaz is capable of.
140.
Only 2 players in Phase 1 got 2 weekly titles. Himself and Kevin Burness.
48.
Oh, that's a little bit messy. And I don't mean Lionel. You can see what Shaun's trying to do here. 133 downstairs to leave tops.
95.
Doesn't quite get it. Needed that extra 57.
82.
But this should have been easier. Well, 16 bull. Double 9.
73.
He will be very, very upset
Junior requires 78.
if Shaun takes this 78. Because Chaz had 6 starts from 130 to get himself level. There's a line that I say now and again. This will hurt. But rest assured, if McDonald hits tops, this will hurt Barstow.
38.
It was close.
Chaz, you require 9.
This is no gimme. Double 2. And he has got it. He is digging deep. He might not be playing his A+ game tonight, but he has 4 points in the bank. And he has worked really, really hard to get himself back to a level game with his closest rival in this group. It's 2-2 now.
Chaz to throw first. Game on. $81.
If you're not going to play your best game, which for Chaz is probably somewhere around 108, 109. He did have some big averages at the Pro Tour last week, around 104. But what you have to do if you're averaging 83 like he is in this match is try and make 83 look good.
100.
And by that, I mean pick up visits where you always get a treble of some description. And just pick off the finish when you eventually get the chance.
96.
In looking at this fixture in match number 6, you would think that the 2 players who have picked up 4 points would probably tear each other up. But I just get the feeling that these 2 know they've had a really big start. And if they get to 6 points with 1 match remaining for the night,
99.
they're getting very, very close to potentially getting through. Just imagine the thought of getting 4 wins tonight. That would already put you really close to qualifying for Saturday night, in my opinion. Maybe 1 win tomorrow would be enough. Well, one of these players is going to have that opportunity for 8 perfect points tonight.
65.
McDonald finishes his campaign in match 8 against Conan Whitehead. Chaz Barstow has to wait till match 9 where he finishes up against Colin Osborne. Again, looking for the 1-3-3 to try and leave 100 this time.
95.
And again gets the 95.
Require 160.
Another. Would have left tops.
140.
Gets the approach and is now
Shaun, you require 130.
funneling the pressure towards Shaun McDonald in this match. He needs another one of those. And it's fair to say that with that first dart primarily in its perfect spot, that is a huge miss to get a chance at double 12 for this 5th leg.
96.
If I was in his position there, I'd be
20.
devastated with that 2nd dart.
Game
And I'd be devastated that Chaz is now 3-2 up. This game has flipped all the way around. McDonald had the impetus at the very start, but now it's all about Barstow. Is he about to go to 6 points?
6 leg, it's Shaun to throw first. Game on. $134. 40.
Just imagine thinking that you've got 4 points from 4. You're 2-0 up against the other guy who's got 4 points. You're thinking everything is fine, everything is rosy.
95.
Then you lose the next 3 legs and things just seem a little bit more prickly. This has got to be a 180.
140.
That 3rd dart was thrown very quickly.
$59.
That 59 is an invitation now.
93.
And the RSVP right there was pretty much booked. One more error from Shaun and a big score from Chaz, and he will be presented with an opportunity to win the match 4 legs to 2 from 2-0 down.
$96.
Got to get down to something doable here. 134 would be a good score, and that's exactly what he gets.
Shaun, you require 117.
This is to save the match all of a sudden. I bet he didn't expect me to say that a couple of legs ago. And now Chaz, who sits on 4 points and a leg difference of +5, can bolster both of those things. Double 18 is missed.
54.
He can only leave tops.
Shaun, you require 24.
It's never a good thing when you're counting on errors from your opponent. You don't expect Shaun to miss double 12. Oh, that one's flattened out. That's really awkward. He can barely see that double 12 now. He has to go from the left side and open up the darts angle and throw it hard. Oh, that was really unlucky. That was on such a good line, but it just died at the end. And Barstow finds tops and steals that last leg. He has got 6 points from a possible 6. He is looking very, very sweet at the top of the tree. He averaged 86 in the match to Shaun's 88, as you can see, but he took his opportunities when they came along, and that is a very dangerous dart player with 6 points at the top of the table. When we return, we will have Colin Osborne still looking for his first 2 points of the night. He's up against Jamie Clark, and that's coming up after the break. Hello and thank you for your company. Welcome back to our coverage here of the Online Darts Live League on Sporty Stuff TV. I am Paul the Asset Nicholson and we're about to get into game number 7. Colin Osborne and Jamie Clark. Yes, it is game 7. And both of these players are still looking for their first win of the night. It hasn't gone the way for Jamie Clark or Colin Osborne yet. But one of them is about to get off the mark and possibly revive their chances of getting through this group.
Okay, first leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
Whoever loses this game is going to be in trouble. But not that far away from
54.
Still being in with a shout. In third position in the table is Conan Whitehead on 2 points. But Conan has 2 matches left.
60.
Jamie and Colin both have 2 matches left themselves. They have got to use them. Because it looks like
43.
Barstow and McDonald look fairly strong towards the top. Barstow will finish his campaign for this evening against Colin Osborne in match 9. Shaun McDonald will finish his next against Conan Whitehead.
41.
So just imagine if Colin was to lose to Barstow. That places more importance on this.
45.
Now, if indeed there is going to be a scrap for that third spot in this 5-person group, that third spot will be good enough to make the finals for Saturday night. It might be good for these players if Barstow and indeed McDonald stretch their lead.
100.
And then it will be between Clark, Osborne and Whitehead to see who snags the last position.
87.
Change of flights in this game for Jamie Clark. He's gone for the flights that match his shirt.
$60.
Can only
Jamie,
leave
you
96
require 136.
from 156 the Wizard. Clark is going to leave himself on tops.
96. Colin, you require 96.
So this is for an early break. Beautifully done. Double 18. Oh,
78.
so close. Looks a little bit despondent
Jamie, you require
after
40.
a couple of early defeats in his Thursday night campaign, which is now run into Friday morning, of course. Jamie Clark thought that was in. So did I for a second. Still double 10.
20.
Big chance missed.
Colin, you require 18.
Double 9. Don't go inside.
Game show on the first
Just go
leg.
inside the
Colin
double 9.
Osborne.
Well, it is the first leg to Colin Osborne. He got 2 bites at the cherry, and the second one was very fruitful. So he's got that break of throw in hand. How can he use it?
Second leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
Jamie Clark is cutting a very, very annoyed figure at the back of the playing room right now. Nothing has gone his way tonight. He lost by 4 legs to 2 to Barstow in our
97.
opening match of the night. And then lost 4-2 to McDonald as well. It has taken him some time
41.
to ingrain himself in good form in previous weeks he's played in. When he made the finals of week 3 a couple of weeks ago,
100.
that was his first finals this year. He'd played a couple of previous weeks in phase 1 and had failed to make the finals on multiple
97.
occasions. So making it this far is a distinct improvement on what has happened in 2021. But so far tonight,
44.
he's reverting back to the kind of form that we saw in phase 1.
82.
Don't underestimate as well the fact that some of these players will not have a great deal of experience of playing this late at night.
100.
Look at someone like Osborne, who has played a little bit at this time with the Online Darts Live League this year. But when you play the PDC Tour, for instance, or the Challenge Tour, or indeed
60.
most local tournaments,
require 160.
they don't finish this late. So this is a bit of a skill playing at this hour.
100.
There's nothing Osborne can do about Clark's position. All he can do is stick in a score here and pressurise.
100.
And hope that Jamie Clark has
Jamie
more
requires
problems on the
60.
outer ring. He missed 3 in the first leg.
Game shot
He
the
does not
second
miss
leg.
1 here. That's
Jamie
more
Clark.
tidy. That's a 17 darter from Jamie Clark. So that will make him feel a whole lot better. And those 3 misses in the first leg are now forgotten.
Third leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on. .41.
That visit struck me as fairly tired. And just going back to my point about playing late, or in this case, really early, because it's 12:15 here in the
85.
UK. If, say, you get up in the morning, usually at around 8 a.m., maybe something a little bit earlier, the best thing to do,
180.
in my opinion, as we see the first 180 of the match from Jamie Clark, is go about your normal day, but try
100.
and get an extra sleep late in the afternoon. And the best thing to do is to eat quite early.
100.
You do not want to be on a full stomach, possibly dehydrated, or needing sleep this time of night. It's a real skill to play late.
125.
The person who taught me that was Mark Webster. He was the king of programming sleep patterns for late matches. And Mark is someone who played in the Online Darts Live League last
60.
week. Not last year. Well, he did play last year, but he played last week as well. He wasn't able to make the finals in week 4. But hopefully we'll see more of Mark in the future.
100. Jamie, you require 120.
To change the match around from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. Single 20. He doesn't like the lie. Just throw it really high. He did the right thing. And now he has to go around the dart the other way. Tops.
Game
Oh,
shot
that's
on the
beautifully
third
done.
leg. Jamie Clark.
If that doesn't give him some confidence, I'm not sure what will. That was a very creative 120 out. He did it from multiple angles and he got everything right. 2-1 up now.
Fourth leg, it's Colin to throw first.
As soon as you get the 60 with an upright angle of entry in the board, you are going to have a little bit of a pickle with the single, because if you underpitch it,
100.
it could snag on the flight, hit the 60 and bust the shot. He thought that one out really, really well.
.29.
Jamie is very young at the age of 24. He is a young father of 4.
140.
I cannot conceive of how difficult it could be to have darting ambitions, 4 children, living through a pandemic, and all of the challenges that that would bring.
140.
And he does have darting ambitions.
.100.
His immediate
Colin, you require
ambition
121.
is to win this match, to get his first points of the night. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer.
42.
But then again, that is a bit of a stutter there from Colin. got to get to a decent finish here.
100.
He's done that.
Colin, you require 79.
132 is manageable. But 79 is not going to happen.
39.
Not for the first time tonight.
Jamie require
It's a slack dart on approach for Colin. And he's given Jamie the possibility of 3 legs to 1. Look at that again. Oh! Almost did the Barstow from earlier, where he got the 2 bulls for the 132. But he just missed out.
Colin, you require 40.
First start made the bullseye look massive.
Game
But
shot
the
on the
tops
fourth leg.
is taken by Colin Osborne. That 16 darter from him gets him to 2-2. And whoever comes through this match will be on 2 points in the table. Whoever loses it will remain on 0.
Fifth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on. $96.
Just looking at the overall stats for Phase 2.
100.
We had 8 weeks of action, which we called Phase 1. We had 8 weekly winners. 2 people got 2 weekly wins in Phase 1. Barstow was one of them. Kevin Burness was another. Then we started Phase 2 in the quest to find the people who got through to this Champions Week.
100.
And in those 4 weeks of qualifying, Jamie Clark played a lot of matches.
81.
He played 27 matches. 18 wins, 9 losses for a very good win percentage of 67%.
55.
Very similar to Colin Osborne, who up until today had played 44 matches and had won 28 of them.
58.
Colin Osborne's highest finish so far in Phase 2 is 170. But we haven't had a 170 this week.
126.
Jamie Clark is very fortunate to have 6 darts from 126.
52.
But he's not out of the woods yet. If I was in Colin's shoes right now, I'd be thinking 131. Put the pressure on.
97.
Gets something very useful.
Jamie requires 74.
That's a very safe single 14. And now it's tops again.
34. Colin, you requires 66.
You have to think that he has let this leg slip if Colin takes this 66. Double top.
46.
It just hasn't been as reliable tonight as it has been the last couple of days.
Jamie require 40.
And over the last 3 days, he has won 2/3 of his matches. Double 10.
30.
And Jamie Clark has missed 9 darts
Colin, you require 20.
from 126. Double 5. Oh,
No
too
score.
many. We're starting to see why these
Jamie, you
two
require
players
10.
have not registered a win so far this evening. They're both not having it their own way. Much to mull for both. As Jamie goes for 122.
6.
And unbelievably, from 126 points
Colin, you require
after
20.
12 darts, he's had another 12 and not taken the 126.
Game shot on the fifth
Osborne
leg.
somehow breaks
Colin
the throw
Osborne.
there, and Jamie Clark may be brimming with steam coming out of his ears. I wouldn't blame him whatsoever, but he has to channel that and try and find the last 2 legs of this match now.
Sixth leg, it's Colin to throw first.
Well, whenever a human
Game on.
being needs help, they tend to look up. Unfortunately, there is no help on the hockey. You can only help yourself.
140.
And this is where experience can really, really tell.
65.
And that is something that Osborne has in abundance. A former World Championship quarter-finalist. A former UK Open finalist.
135.
Someone who has beaten the best in the game. He's beaten the Taylors, the Andersons.
100.
And one thing I can reveal at this point, where Osborne is gunning for that line. And look at this.
140.
Sheer experience and will to win from Colin Osborne. Live on Sporty Stuff TV on Saturday night, I will reveal
86.
who will be playing
Colin, you require
in
86.
next week's Online Darts Live League after the first Champions Week. And I can tell you that there is at least one name in there that you definitely have not seen in the Online Darts Live League before.
74.
That's the only teaser you're getting, as Osborne leaves double six for the match.
50. Colin, you require 12.
Double six. It's been a fine sixth leg. Double three.
Game shot.
Beautifully
and the
done.
match.
He
Colin
throws his hands up
Osborne.
in apology, but it's not an apology really, as he gets his first 2 points of the night. Much welcomed, and maybe now he has the opportunity to finish with 4 points for the evening. You can see that the 81-89 average there was somewhat swollen by that last leg, but he got the job done. That's the main thing. Shaun McDonald, he will finish his campaign in match number 8, and he takes on Conan Whitehead as he plays his third match of the night. That's coming up right after this. Welcome back. Match number 8 about to begin here at the Online Darts Live Leagues, live on Sporty Stuff TV. I am Paul the Asset Nicholson. I will call in the last 3 matches of the evening, or indeed early in the morning, as we're past midnight now. There you see Chaz Barstow at the top of the table. He will finish his campaign in match 9 against Colin Osborne next. But first, we will see the 4th and final match of the night for Shaun McDonald. Can he get to the point where Chaz Barstow already is? In his way is Conan Whitehead of Kent.
First. Game on.
These guys have done battle in Group A this week on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. The only time this week
100.
where Conan has been 3-3 with an opponent and prevailed was against Shaun McDonald yesterday. But one of the 6 times he was taken to the limit and lost was against Shaun on Monday. In between those 2 results, Tuesday did not go Conan's way at all, as Shaun won by 4-0. I suppose
57.
for both players, a 4-0 is a dream scoreline, as it would be in any best of 7 match. But you may think that after his first win of the night,
180.
Conan Whitehead might be ready to take the shackles off. Against Colin Osborne in match 5, Conan Whitehead was challenged mentally. He was 3-0 up, and he had Colin Osborne bearing down on him. He should have been 3-3. He missed a couple of doubles, and Conan fell over the line 4-2. By doing that,
65.
he will have this big sigh of relief and say, I finally got rid of a match a little bit sooner than I could have. As a result, he might have relaxed a little bit.
47.
And don't underestimate the opportunity for him to potentially finish the night on 6 points. Because he now has single 16 for tops for leg number 1.
Game
And
shot
that is
the
what he
first
finds.
leg.
A 12-dart
Conan
break of
Whitehead.
throw, and he has started this one mightily strong. If he gets a win against Shaun McDonald, he has a game against Jamie Clark in match 10, and he could finish the night on 6 points.
Second leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
I suppose before they do play each other on Friday night, which will be in match 3, by the way, as the fixtures are flipped around somewhat, it would be somewhat fitting if Conan finds a 4-0 here, because that way their head-to-head record for the week would read 2-2. Both have had a 4-3 and a 4-0. But that's me just finding patterns, and I'm sure it's not going to be that simple. Right now, Conan is thinking that 4-0 is a possibility because he's playing exceptionally well at the start of this match. $4-0 would be a disaster for McDonald, because he would end up finishing the night on 4 points and a leg difference of -2.
134.
Constantly in that 60. Playing bulldozing darts.
140.
And he's on for another 12-darter. Well, surely the play here is the 25 first. Now he can't leave the finish, but if you got the 25, he could leave a finish with dart 3.
59. Conan, you require
That's just tactics
121.
and being smart and not wasting a dart. But Conan is double 18 for another 12.
Game shot
Wow.
the second leg.
12 dart
Conan
hold
Whitehead.
after a 12 dart break. Only 24 darts delivered for the first 2 legs in any country right now. That is world class
Third
by
leg, it's
any
Shaun
player.
to throw first. Game on.
He continues like this. Nobody in this group would beat that. Maybe no person who's ever played in the Online Darts Live League.
100.
This is a proper performance. Two legs, 2 12s,
56.
2 ton plus finishes, 2 out of 2 on the doubles. It's as good as it gets, really. Unless your name is Jose de Souza or Michael van Gerwen, maybe.
57.
I have seen players hit back-to-back 10 darters, but that happens maybe once or twice in your lifetime.
100.
These are the kind of games where you think you can hit anything you're going for. It's such a lovely feeling. I
140.
remember a couple of games I played against Aaron Monk's father, Colin. One of them was in Dublin. I won by 6 legs to 0. And I was in a proper zone that day.
99.
I had an unofficial average of over 120, which somebody was collating on the sidelines, and it was about as good as I could possibly play. Those days come around very rarely.
57.
Conan right now, if he's going to take a 3-0 lead, needs a big score here.
$58.
He's given Shaun 6 darts from
Shaun, you
147.
require 147.
Doesn't need 15 reds and 15 blacks for this. He just needs a red, a green and a red. Oh, that's a
131.
brilliant lead from Shaun after 15. It looks very likely that he's going to cut that deficit to 1.
58. Shaun, you requires 16.
Word to the wise, Shaun. Do not miss this. Don't miss it, because Whitehead has already got 2 ton plus checkouts, and that 130 is very gettable.
Game Shaun the third leg.
He heeded
Shaun
the
McDonald.
warning. A 17 darter from Shaun McDonald does get him off the mark. And like I said, don't leave Conan Whitehead on a ton plus finish in this match, because he's already taken 2 of them.
Fourth leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
I've had a nice tweet, or private message actually, from John O'Shea, the current world master.
100.
Says he's watching on and cheering on Shaun McDonald. So Shaun, you've got a big fan in John O'Shea.
100.
I was sorry not to be here last week when John O'Shea was playing. What a character, what a man. It's impossible not to love life when John O'Shea is around.
55.
He's taken his foot off the pedal, has Conan. Got to put his foot down once again, because this man is not going to give up.
99.
He has fought for points all evening. He did lose by 4 legs to 2 against Barstow, and did make a few errors.
81.
But I would possibly put that down to the fact that he is playing his 10th day of darts in 11. And at this point of the night, or indeed the early morning,
126.
he could be starting to flag. But if he digs deep right here and gets another win and finishes with 6 points, he can sleep very soundly tonight in the knowledge He's
60.
possibly only 2 wins away from guaranteeing his place in Saturday's finals. And if he does that, he will play 12 days out of 13.
58.
That is commitment. Got to get down to around 100 here.
100.
Well, that's not bad.
Shaun, you require 118.
This game is on a knife edge right here. Doesn't have to go 60. Could have gone for the treble 16 in bull if he had
94.
chosen that route.
Conan, you
But after that
require
layup,
105.
he is hoping that it's not a third ton plus checkout for Conan. Well, he doesn't know which route he wants to go. Treble 15 or treble 19. And that indecision, I think, is what cost him the chance of going 3-1 up.
Shaun, you require 24.
He was out of his rhythm there. And McDonald should take advantage. Double 6.
Game's on the fourth
Advantage he
leg.
takes.
Shaun
And
McDonald.
that break of throw gives Shaun McDonald the impetus back. And after losing the first 2 legs in 24 darts from a bulldozing Conan Whitehead, he has equalised in the next 2.
First. Game on.
Unfortunately for Conan, he has reverted to type, where he has had the hot start, and then he has been reeled in.
134. 95.
We will have more Online Darts Live League action via the Online Darts YouTube channel come the morning. And indeed, we will be live from 9:30 a.m., just a shade under 9 hours' time. And we will start with Martin Adams against Jared Cole, 2 of the challengers for the top 2 spots in Group C.
85.
We hope you can join us for that. And then we will be back on the air with Sporty Stuff TV from 10 p.m. on Friday night. We hope you can spend your Friday night with us as we solidify the lineup for Saturday night's finals, which is also
100.
live on Sporty Stuff TV come Saturday night at 10 p.m, where £5,000 is up for the winner.
100.
Even with that ton, Shaun McDonald is in a very luxurious position here. He can slide towards a double here of his choosing.
58.
That's all right. The leg is still in his control.
$57.
Not a great deal of pressure, and this game has completely changed. 67 left. Things are getting a bit messy. He's going to go for the bullseye.
34.
But he's going to leave himself on an awkward-looking double 19.
64.
Well, treble 18 for the bull for a haymaker.
139.
Oh, that was close. And Shaun McDonald, his heart would have been in his mouth right there. He could easily be 3-2 down right now. But double 8 is huge.
30.
He misses the chance. And Conan put the pressure on. He has to make up his mind which way he wants to go. And I don't think he's 100%. But he chooses 988. And
Game
double
shot on
four
the fifth leg.
gives him the lead back.
Conan Whitehead.
Boy, is he having to work hard for this. After that blistering start, he was reeled in. But after McDonald misses chances in a leg that he should have won, it's now Conan Whitehead who has the chance to win it.
Sixth leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
This game will age you. I was told that as a 19-year-old county debutant. At the time, I thought the person telling me that was mad. I said, this game's fun. What could possibly be stressful? And then the first time I got on the county stage in the county of Norfolk, that player was absolutely right.
96.
This game does stress you out, but it's an addictive type of stress.
$41.
If Shaun goes on to lose this match, he will look back at that fifth leg and say, that's why.
136.
He now has to work hard again from the deficit to try and eke out 2 more points. It's not the end of the world if he ends the night on 4 points, of course. But he will hit his pillow later thinking there should have been more.
36.
Sensible on 269 using the 19s first. He's going to leave a finish now.
99.
That finish is the biggest one possible. Got to get to a finish here to pressurise that 170. At least get close to him. He has done that.
Shaun, you require 170.
Biggest finish of the week for Conan is a 161. We're not going to get a 170 from Shaun.
99.
But this 152
Conan, you require 100
is to join Shaun on 4 points on the table. 77.
90.
Now, was that a prudent play? Going
Shaun, you
15s
require 71.
and not getting the treble leaves 62, which might only guarantee him one shot at double. If he'd have gone 19s, it would have left him something in single double range, but it might not matter.
Game
Shaun McDonald throws a pinpoint
Shaun
double
McDonald.
16 and saves the match, and we are going the distance in this one. This one has been on a knife edge since pretty much leg 3. So who's going to win it?
7th and final
Coin
leg, it's
flipping time.
Shaun to throw first. Game on.
Just a reminder that on 7 occasions this week,
139.
Conan Whitehead has been 3-3 with someone. And only once has he won from this position. The
140.
only time he has won at 3-3 was against Shaun McDonald. And that was yesterday. Can he do it again?
134.
Well, if he's going to do so, it'll be some effort. Because Shaun has hit 4 big trebles to start this leg on the throat.
95.
He's possibly only 6 darts away from winning 4-3 and digging deep once again. What a leg under pressure.
85.
This is where Conan cannot leave a bogey number. Got to get the treble 19
59.
or the treble 20. Both of them would have left a finish.
Shaun, you require 100.
But Shaun now, who couldn't get that 5th leg with 6 darts from 72, is looking to take 143 out. It would have been for the 2nd time this week.
102.
There's no guarantee that Shaun takes that 41. But Conan has got to get down to 67 for me.
99. Shaun,
I'm surprised he didn't stay up top and just throw it really, really hard. But it's match point for Shaun McDonald. Double 16.
Game
he doesn't waste the opportunity.
Shaun McDonald.
And he finishes his campaign on Thursday night with 6 points. He will go into Friday with a very, very healthy total after only one loss tonight against Chaz Barstow. He didn't have the best average and he didn't have the best checkout, but he did get the 2 points in the end, and that's very symptomatic of what he has done this evening. Chaz Barstow will finish his campaign next. He's up against Colin Osborne. That's coming up after the break. Welcome back to our coverage of the Online Darts Live League here. And one person has finished their campaign for the evening. Shaun McDonald has finished on 6 points. We have another player currently on 6 points, and he plays in his final match of the night. There he is. Chaz Barstow is currently at the top of the table.
Okay, first leg,
and
it's Colin
will
to throw
remain there
first.
come
Game
what
on.
may. As far as this match is concerned, though, it presents a great
85.
opportunity for Chaz. If he can find another win and get 8 points from the evening, that for me
140.
is firmly 1 foot in the finals. And the opportunity of winning that £5,000 on Saturday night is very much alive for Chaz. It would also make things very, very difficult for
46.
Colin Osborne for tomorrow. He would be embroiled in a bit of a dust-up for that third spot, potentially. So if Colin somehow can beat Chaz here and get himself to 4 points for the night,
83.
he would be assured of being ahead of Jamie Clark and possibly Conan Whitehead by the end of the night. But he's not going to be above Shaun McDonald. He's assured of second spot by the end of the night. Barstow gets himself to 92, but Osborne is already inside that. Double top for the first leg.
56.
And Barstow's in for the take.
As you require 92.
2 double 18s. There's one. Oh,
56.
I would like to say a daylight robbery, but it's pitch black outside.
Colin, you require 20.
Midnight robbery. That was cruel.
Game show on the first leg.
But that was cool
Colin Osborne.
from Colin Osborne. He didn't even bat an eyelid as that dart fell out of the board for Chaz and stopped him from getting that first break of throw. But Osborne with that
Second leg,
hold.
Chance to throw first.
Here we go. Leg
Game
2.
on. $135.
That does happen with Chaz quite a lot because he has a very heavy dart and very firm flights.
60.
And those barrels he uses. If you are a beginner to the game of darts, watching on Sporty Stuff TV, the barrel is the metallic piece, which is what
59.
holds onto the stem piece, which holds onto the flight at the top. But those barrels of Chaz, they are very stumpy.
95.
There's a lot of mass there for it to hit the corresponding flights that are already in the board. He does get the odd bounce out that way. It just so happened that that came on a leg-winning dart. It is the risk when you're trying to knit the darts together.
123. Chance require 167.
No risk of this. 3 darts in separate parts of the board for a 167.
97.
Seems to me like Barstow has forgotten about that double 18 very, very quickly. Because in no time at all,
100.
he's found himself at 70 after 12.
70.
Double top. Oh, that's a bad
60.
dart. You can tell from his body language that he did not enjoy that one little
123.
bit. Hang on a minute. Colin Osborne's got a shot at the bullseye for the second leg. Oh, that's classic Osborne.
Colin Osborne.
That's exactly what he was doing around 10 years ago as one of the top Pro Tour players on the planet. And that is a real steal for 2-0 to Osborne.
Third leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
Don't you dare think that that is an isolated incident. Because I'm pretty sure that he's already done that this week.
100. 58.
I'm just looking through the fixture sheets of the last couple of days, and I'm fairly certain he has done that exact checkout before.
140.
He's had his fair share of maximums this week as Colin. He's been very good on tops when he's been playing well. He's had a high average of 104.
96. $100.
He's in a very good position in this third leg as well.
57.
He has hit Chaz Barstow where it hurts.
61. $45.
All is not lost with that 45. We've seen a 116 from Conan Whitehead tonight. That didn't help him because after a blistering start against McDonald,
57.
he ended up losing by 4 legs to 2.
116.
4 legs to 3, sorry. But this would see Osborne 3-0 up.
45.
Oh, that's slack though. That's a second consecutive 40-plus visit. And he might be made to pay for it.
140.
He's got company under 100 now.
71.
This should have been a lot easier than 71. Only one dart, a double top for a 3-0 lead.
Game
And
from
it's
the
all he
third leg.
requires.
Colin
Boy,
Osborne.
has he worked hard for this lead. He is gritting his teeth. He is giving everything he's got in his final match of the night. And if he can somehow win 4-0, his chances are revived.
Fourth leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
You could say that the opportunity given to him for the 123 checkout in leg number 2 was fortunate, but you still have to take those chances. I had a very, very interesting conversation with some people within other sports over the course of the pandemic. And the most interesting one
60.
was someone I know who's involved in tennis and some people involved in boxing. And we were talking about what makes darts great.
140.
And we came up with a theory that in darts, there is no such thing as a freebie. Your opponent, and in Colin's case, Chaz Barstow, can miss all the doubles in the world and give you all of the opportunities in the world. But you still have to win the leg by doing what you need to do. Nothing is given to you on a plate.
$60.
It's a bit like boxing. You can leave your chin open, but you still have to hit him or her.
137. Colin, you require 160.
You can get a fluke in snooker. There's no such thing as a fluke in darts. But you could have a 164 at the end of this match to finish the night. Oh, Colin Osborne. That would have been rather special.
You require 140.
And that is a match dart missed. Double 16 to save the match on a 149. Wow! What an exchange from both players. A miss on the 164 from Osborne for the match. And then just when you think Osborne's coming back for the 25, Barstow takes out the 149. Stupendous.
Fifth leg, it's Colin to throw first. Game on.
Well, Colin is thinking, okay, I've done my bit. I'm going to take the 25.
120.
And Barstow comes up with a dirty little rascal shot. His biggest finish of the entire night.
99.
We have had some biggies tonight, haven't we? We've had a 150 from Shaun McDonald. We've had a 123 from Barstow. We've had A 1-2-3 from Osborne.
140.
We've had the 1-4-9 from Barstow just there. We've had a brilliant 120 from Jamie Clark. I'm not going to forget about that one. That was a great shot. But that 1-4-9 for me eclipses the lot.
$140.
Fair play to Osborne, who was hit hard by that 1-4-9, but since then, he has come up with 9 brilliant, brilliant shots.
96. Colin, you require
And he's going to get a
96.
chance to win the match. Right here, right now. Gets the effectively up. And his average is close to 3 figures. Looks like he saved his best performance for after 1 o'clock in the morning.
59. Colin, you
A
require
little bit of late night Osborne. He knocks on the door of tops and takes it. A 13 darter. And he is very much alive when it comes to tomorrow. After taking out the undefeated Chaz Barstow in match 9, you see his average was very, very close to 100, but not quite in 3 figures. It's Barstow who finishes on 6 points at the top of the table, and Osborne finishes on 4. As far as Whitehead is concerned, and Jamie Clark, if they want to position themselves well for tomorrow, it's a much-needed win for Clark, but Whitehead could be in the distance if he wins after the break. the morning, not the evening, because we are into the early hours now. But this match is vitally important for Jamie Clark if he stands any chance tomorrow of making the top 3. There you see the table. Chaz Barstow has guaranteed top spot before we go into night 2 of Group B here in Champions Week on Sporty Stuff TV. Shaun McDonald in second position, closely followed by Colin Osborne, who had a half-decent night by picking up half the points on offer to him.
Okay, first leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
But if indeed Conan Whitehead finds the 2 points in this match, Jamie Clark is in all sorts of trouble now. How has that happened? He's got the old grandfather clock going. Tick-tock, tick-tock. And I'm not talking about 21st century TikTok. I do not know how that is dangling like that. That is one for the picture book. I think that flight might be shot. What a strange start to this match. A little bit of Twilight Zone darts there from Conan Whitehead.
100.
Just when you think you might have seen it all, that one was just a little bit different. But as I was saying, if Jamie Clark is unable
92
to find 2 points in this match, and indeed any points on this first evening of play, we will have 2 players on 6 points and 2 players on 4.
100.
And Jamie Clark will possibly be forced into a perfect evening on Friday. And there are no guarantees that that would be enough as well.
92.
But if Conan does get the 2 points, he, like Colin Osborne, has revived his chances of getting through to Saturday night.
60.
Like difference currently for Conan Whitehead at -2. So if he gets the same result as Colin Osborne has just got against Chaz Barstow, 4 legs to 1,
36.
he will be level with Osborne on 4 points and +1. Maybe that is what he is eyeing up, because this group is going to go to the
85.
wire. Great first start. Should go to the 25 and bull now.
95.
All is
Jamie,
not
you
lost,
require
hitting a small 15.
156.
I wouldn't be shocked if we found another big finish in this match,
56.
similar to what we
Conan, you
saw
require
in our previous game, where we had a 1-2-3 from Osborne and a 1-4-9 from Chaz. But that is a treble 4 in search of a treble 18.
74.
He definitely searched
Jamie,
for that
you
treble
require
14,
100.
and that might gift him a shot at double 16 if this doesn't go. Got to look north.
45.
And he thinks
Conan,
this
you
leg is
require
over. He might
32.
be right. 2 8s. Double 4.
Game
Oh,
shot on the first leg.
That
Conan
is in,
Whitehead.
but only just. If that was a penalty, that was unsavable. But that was just precariously close to that double 18. It was just inside the post.
Second leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
If you want to make sure that
83.
you don't miss any of the action here at the Online Darts Live League tomorrow night, and indeed the finals in Champions Week on Saturday night, please stick your
55.
controller with your relevant TV box at home on Series Link with Sporty Stuff TV. All of
100.
all of our action will be recorded so you can watch it back even. Maybe have a little glance back to that flight wrecker of a dart that Conan Whitehead delivered at the beginning of the last leg.
180.
But the first 180 of the match goes to Conan. And it gives him a nice one-dart lead going into the middle portion of the second leg.
85.
Not much has gone right for Jamie Clark tonight.
134.
And that trend is continuing, because this is an excellent leg from Conan the Barbarian.
87.
And with a name like Conan,
Require
he was never going to be called anything
132.
else as a dart player. We've had two very good attempts at 132 tonight, and we're going to get another one right here.
50 left.
You should know you've got the bullseye left. Don't give him a shot at 146. He's going to lay up. He's going to lay up.
100.
He's going to roll the dice.
Jamie, you require 146.
Jamie's just thinking to himself, well, if you were going to lay up, why did you go for the bull in the first place? He's got Jamie thinking. Jamie is so busy thinking about what Conan just did
46.
that maybe Conan has played Jamie like a fiddle.
Game show on the
And it's
second
2-0
leg.
with
Conan
no
Whitehead.
thought whatsoever about laying up in that previous visit. He has done a bit of a Phil Taylor on Jamie Clark there. He should have really gone for the bullseye. He chose not to, and it worked.
Third leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on.
It's a risky game at this level. Laying up away from the
100.
bullseye and leaving a double 16 or a double top when your opponent is on a finish. I had one of the greatest rushes of my career when someone did that against
60.
me. A certain Philip Douglas Taylor decided not to go for the bull on a shot like that. And I took it 170 in front of 1,500 screaming fans at the Circus Tavern.
180.
Just get the feeling that maybe at this late hour, Conan Whitehead is establishing a little bit of mojo
40.
in this match. And Jamie Clark is having to manage a little bit of frustration. I say a little bit. Well, there's plenty.
91.
This is a very good leg and a great performance. It's a 96 average so far for Conan. And I talked about the possibility of a 4-1 victory, getting him to the same point in the table as Colin Osborne. If he can knit 4 legs together and get that 4-0
59.
win,
Conan,
he will
you
jump
require
into
130.
third position.
$58.
He has plenty of time. 270 in front. And Jamie Clark has got a lot of talent,
92.
but we have not
Conan, you
seen what he
require
is capable of tonight
72.
at all. Another 16. Leaves tops.
32.
He will be back for it. The fact that Conan has come into this game and played so well
140.
is testament
Conan, you
to how
require
mentally
40.
strong he can be.
Game show on the
We'll talk
third
about that in a
leg.
second, because he has
Conan
gone 3-0
Whitehead.
up now, and he is 1 leg away from potentially being in third place on his own. The 4-0 victory is in sight now.
Fourth leg, it's Jamie to throw first. Game on.
After playing Shaun McDonald in match 8, where he lost 4 legs to 3, he was 2-0 up, remember, and started with 2 12-darters. And you thought that maybe there was
100.
no way back for Shaun. But Conan lost from a winning position. Based on the way these two guys are playing right now,
85.
I do not think that Conan can lose this match. Jamie hasn't even had a shot at double. He's averaging a good 12 less than Conan.
85.
That first start tonight has been so much better than the last couple of days. That has been the difference. That's why he's got this opportunity of winning 50% of his matches. He's not dependent on a good first start. But when he gets it right, his game does transform into something so much better.
59.
The remarkable thing for me is that Conan has only got 5 180s for the night. For me, he is a very good 180 hitter. So is he
59.
reserving, potentially? And he won't be doing this on purpose. But is he possibly reserving a 180 spurt for Friday night?
98.
It's 80 points that separate Conan from a 4-0 victory. He is coming back. And he's not going to be under a great deal of pressure by the looks of it. But that's a great recovery, Dart.
121.
That's a great recovery couple. So if he wants 4-0, it may have to be now. Double top. His first match-winning opportunity.
60. Jamie requires 77.
This is Jamie's first opportunity to save the match. It's at the same bed.
57.
And it has also missed.
Conan,
To wrap up the night
20.
and his campaign for Thursday evening stroke Friday morning, it's double 5.
10.
And that is 4 missed match
Jamie
darts.
required 20.
He'll be hoping it's not one of those games. Double 5 for Clark. Nothing has gone right.
15. Last score doesn't count. Last dart. Conan, you required 10.
He was over the mark with the third dart, and Owen Binks got that exactly right. That was a last dart foul. Oh, and so it goes that
6.
Jamie Clark comes back
Jamie, you required 5.
for 5. Unbelievable that Conan has missed so many chances for this match
James
and
on
has
the
now
fourth
lost
leg.
that leg.
Jamie Clark.
Well, just when you think you've got this game figured out and you think, that's it. Well, it isn't. And the comeback may start right now, Jamie, if you can knit things together.
5th leg, it's Conan to throw first. Game on. 60.
I make that 6 match darts missed. 1 at tops. Couple at
45.
10s and 3 at double 5. Earlier in the week, he did lose a match after having 6 match darts.
180.
That 180 was the equivalent of someone 3-putting from 5 feet, and then on the next tee, they get the driver, tee it high, and just hit it as hard as they can to get rid of some anger. Because Conan is not going to be happy that he's still throwing darts.
55.
He's just got to work at this score and get another opportunity.
60.
All of a sudden, the darts are starting to spike. And by that, I mean going the board
96.
too upright. Which means that they're not being delivered at their primary trajectory. But still, It's a very good leg from Conan.
Conan, you require
And he's got 6
110.
starts from 110 to finally get this done. It was a good performance up until the match starts.
40.
He just has to fall over the line, you feel. Jamie Clark could smell a little bit of white line-itis here.
28.
But he's not been able to find anything of size there.
Conan, you require 7.
He somewhat serendipitously found himself on a finish. But it's double 8 for Conan. And it is game shot in the match to Conan Whitehead. He finishes the night with 4 points. Jamie Clark does finish the night without any points at all. He's fought valiantly. He gave everything he had right there, but it still wasn't enough, as Conan Whitehead has now overtaken Colin Osborne in the table. It's been a very, very good evening's darts. We're going to be back in about 8 hours with the next installment in Group C. But as you can see, Osborne and Whitehead on 4 points. Shaun McDonald on 6. Chaz Barstow on 6 at the top. Only 3 can progress from this group a little bit later, as we're live on Sporty Stuff TV from 10 p.m. tonight. I hope you can join us then. This is Paul the Asset Nicholson signing out for now. So see you guys later on Friday.